dynamic volume profile, it's a indicator that is developed by Bell TPO, and that helps you plot custom volume profiles on a bar or a candlestick chart. So I will be showing you all the examples on the charts in a minute. But why, we need this particular feature? Why do we need these particular feature is, just a minute, are, am I audible? Because I'm getting some disturbance on my end. Vinod, am I audible? Okay, Manjunath is saying yes. Thanks for the confirmation. All right. Yeah. So it is a tool, as I said, it is a tool developed by Bell TPO, and it helps you plot the custom volume profiles on a bar or a candlestick charts. Okay. What this does is it helps us plot volume profiles anywhere on the price action chart. Now there is a specific benefit to this, and we will go into that in a minute. Now this particular indicator, it not only plots the volume profile and all the details associated with it, like the value area high, value area low, point of controls and everything, but it can also plot market profile too. So many times, people ask me, should we be plotting monthly volume and market profiles, or weekly volume and market profiles? This particular tool can give you that freedom, and you can now plot any time frame, any area of the chart that you want to look at the volume distribution of. You can do that, right? So it's a fantastic indicator that is pretty useful, pretty useful. So why should you be using? What is the benefit of using this particular tool? Is that it plots volume profiles anywhere you want, as I said. And why is it important? All right. So let me draw a small illustration for you that will make this point even clear. So what usually happens, let us take an example of a daily volume profile. So market opens and it does its thing, and then the market closes, all right? The next day market opens and again it moves sideways, and then maybe it goes down. Now, traditional volume profile that is available on other like VSA charts or volume profile charts, what they will do is they will plot a volume profile like this for day one, and then they will plot a volume profile like this for day two, right? But if you look at the chart closely, what it did was it moved higher first, then it moved sideways, and it created this consolidation, and then it broke down. Now, if you had a volume profile that covered only this area, now you can even merge, all right? So there is a possibility of merging the volume profiles. But what it will do is it will also get this data and this data along with all the other data. But if you just want to isolate this area, it is not possible. So that is now possible using the dynamic profile, and you can only look at the distribution of this area, and then you can take your trading decisions based on the volume profile information that you get for just this area. All right. That is the benefit. Sometimes you get into, on a higher time frame chart, you get into month long consolidations. All right, 2 3 4 months market is just moving sideways and not doing anything, and that again can be captured easily using this dynamic profile indicator, right? So it will help you plot the profiles as per your requirements, and that usually gives you the true picture. Otherwise, what happens, traders often get confused by different volume profile shapes that are forming on the chart, and they don't understand like which volume we should give more importance to and which we should not. Okay. So the true picture of auction development, we can isolate that. We can isolate the consolidation area. So let's say the market is moving higher, and you see that this is a small balance that form, and then the market is coming down. On a simple bar chart, this might not be visible, but if you draw that custom volume profile, you might see a small HVN here, micro balances, which I talk about a lot. So you will get an idea that market might support here and then bounce from here, or if it finds acceptance below that, you will see a bigger fall happening. So this is the advantage of plotting that. I will show you live example, so don't worry. So this is the reason why this dynamic profile is so useful. All right. Okay. So let us now go to charts that we are all waiting for. Okay. So this is a daily chart for Nifty. All right. And now what I want to highlight is this area. All right. Market was moving higher nicely, and then it went into a 1 2 3 4 month consolidation, and then we looked below that consolidation, and then we moved higher. So this area right now, what you can see, 1 2 3 4 volume profiles, and this last volume profile includes both this consolidation as well as market move lower, it also includes this development, and then what you get is reversal. So how can we look at this using a dynamic volume profile? So what you need to do, let me, because if someone is new to this particular tool, let me show you how you can get it. Go to this Bell TPO set of indicators, and then you go lower. Oh no, here right at the top. So you have to double click this and it will be added. It's already added on my chart, right? And then there are some settings, but let me first apply the indicator and then we will talk about the settings. All right. So you get this indicator first on your chart. These three buttons will then show on the chart. And if you want to draw a dynamic profile, you have to first click on this, select a bar, and then select the bar you want to plot the dynamic profile for. So I'm starting from this bar. You click and you leave that click, and then you just drag it till this consolidation, right? All right. So this is what gives you this dynamic profile. So now what we have done, we have kind of plotted it like this. Okay. What it is covering, it is covering the sideways development that started from this point, and it is just continuing sideways till we broke below this particular consolidation at this point. All right. Yeah, someone is asking me on the Discord whether it's an open session. In fact, it is. So let me reply to them quickly. Yes. Okay. So what it has done for me is it has isolated this sideways consolidation. I don't have to look at the individual volume profiles and get confused because it is a bigger consolidation. You have a low volume area at the top and then a big sideways nice consolidation. And what is happening here is we are trying to break down from that consolidation. We fail and then we recover back up. So this is what, this is basically a failed auction. On if you are a Wyckoff student, then you know that this can be called as a C phase or the testing phase. And what happens after this testing phase is that market reverses because it has uncovered no new business to the downside. Market is not interested in lower prices. So market starts recovering, gets back inside this range. Now I personally, if you have been following me for a while, you know that I don't like to use this value area levels, but there are many traders who prefer them, so they are plotted here. Now you can see value area low, value area high, and point of control. All right. I personally don't like to use it, but they are there. And as it starts scaling into the value area, you can look at different references and try to take positions. Here we go above the value area, find acceptance, and then continue higher, right? So this is one of the benefits of plotting this particular dynamic profile. Now, if I have to change now this is plotted for this price range. If I want to change it, all you have to do is click on this button. It will become red, and then leave the right click, left click and then just drag it. Okay, and now what I can do is I can just bring it till this point. Okay, now what I have is the development for this area, and then what happens, we go above, we again fail, right? So you can see this was a failed auction to the upside, right? And then market went lower. So you could have traded this down move ABC kind of a pattern, and if you want to see where it stopped, you can extend this particular value area. Now if you have, again, like if you have seen me talk about these things, I call this last point of demand, and it just found support there and it started going back up. So what you can do is you can isolate the volume profiles for specific areas, and then you can compare the price action for that specific area, price action around a specific area, and see if the market is comfortable moving away from the value area or not. So we were not comfortable moving away here, neither were we comfortable moving away to the downside, and then finally when it reversed, it broke out and went much higher. Again, I can do this thing, I can drag it forward and get this point to this area. So what I am basically trying to do is I am trying to isolate this. This is a ABC pattern. So this consolidation in between these two down moves, I'm trying to isolate that. And now if I extend this HVN, where am I going? See, you break out above the HVN, you find acceptance. That is a clear sign that whoever sold in this particular HVN and resulted in this down move is no longer interested in defending this. So we accept above that, and then we get a very, very strong dynamic breakout. Make sense? So this, all things can be accomplished with this particular tool. Now, the beauty of this tool is that you cannot, you are not limited to plotting just one, you can plot multiple. So see, what am I doing here? Let me remove this. So how you can remove is if you select this, there is this red cross, you have to click it to remove. Now what am I doing here is I want to show you that there is this dynamic breakout that happened, and then we moved into a consolidation. This is what I call as micro balances, which form along the way in a big trend. Market goes higher, comes back down. See where it comes. It comes right to this particular HVN. Now we can plot it, using the existing VSA indicator. But what I can do is I can remove this VSA indicator for you. We have to give it a minute to load. Oops. Okay, I actually wanted not to plot the volume profile. So this is what I have to do. Remove the volume profile histogram. Yeah. So now we don't have the volume profiles, and now market has broken out above this HVN. It has already given me a good trade. Market goes higher. Now you don't want to chase the price. Okay, it's not a good idea. If the price is going higher, you are chasing it, trying to buy here, and then if it consolidates or reverses, you will be trapped. So what you need to wait for is for the market to come back to a support area. Now for me, support areas are always consolidation. This one, this one, this one. Some of them we go and test, and some of them we don't. Some of them we respect, and some of them we don't. Now you need a deeper understanding of the auction development process, market development process, to understand which will hold, which will not hold, or when you find out that a particular reference is not holding, all those things. Today is not the day to discuss that because we have a limited time. So what is happening here is we break out and we consolidate, and then we continue the move higher. Now if you are going to chase the price, let's say you buy here, then this pullback is going to cause a trouble for you. So how do you identify low risk areas to enter in a strong trend? Again, you can take help of this indicator. You click this and you draw another one. All right. Now what I have done, I've just isolated that consolidation, and it is clearly giving me this HVN. And see how beautifully the market comes there, and from there it bounces back again. Make sense? So this is the beauty of this indicator, which can help you isolate volume areas where volume was attached, and not get kind of overwhelmed by this sideways price zones, or complicated price actions, confusing price actions. See, I can draw another one for you. If I draw it from this bar to this bar, I get this HVN, and if I extend this HVN, see what is happening. We have respected this HVN 1, 2, and now the third time. So you could have bought here, here, and here. And when I say you could have bought here, was there a 100% guarantee that market was going to reverse from there? No. But was there a very high probability that market will reverse from there? Yes. Now, what if it does not? Okay, you might say, Dean, you are just cherry picking the examples. What if it does not bounce from here? Now, a good trading method has one very important characteristic, and that characteristic is defining the risk in a particular trade. You have a very clear indication of where you are wrong. Now, let me move this for a second. All right. Or I remove this altogether. Now, when you are looking at this particular chart, okay, even if you look at traditional support and resistances, you cannot say that this price was at a support when it reversed from here. Okay, here you can say, because you have the first reference, and then the second form, and then in the third case you can also look at this, but this was impossible to identify. All right. And now why are we finding support, and why are we not breaking down? What is the logic? Now, the traditional support and resistances that we track, like the extremes, I'm not a big fan of it, because apart from stop hunt, there is no logic that can be used to trade the extremes of a range. So this particular extreme that formed at 1, you can say that 2 was a stop hunt, and then why again the third time? How many times are we going to hit the stop losses there, or keep hitting stop losses? And sometimes we come to the reference, sometimes we reverse well above the reference. What all things are happening here? But now, if you use my logic, which is tracking volume, I can draw this here. I can say that, okay, this was the area of consolidation. What it means? It was an area of struggle between buyers and sellers, and then price broke out, so buyers won. That means this is the area which is dominated by buyers. And if an area is dominated by buyers, if prices come there, they will be rejected back up if buyers are ready to defend. Make sense? But if they stop defending, then you will see market going lower. So what do I know? I know that there is this HVN, and if prices accept below the HVN, if they spend time below the HVN, then what I know? That the buyers are not ready to defend. So I have a very clear reference or zone that tells me I am wrong. Make sense? Okay. So that is the benefit of this particular tool, is that it gives me this area which tells me that if market goes below this, I am wrong. And that is the reason why I am saying that you could have bought here, here, and here, because you have a very clear way of defining your risk. And that will tell you when you're wrong. When you're wrong, you get out, all right? And if you are proven right, like we have been proven on 1, 2, and 3 occasions, you could just simply use these beautiful entries to position yourself. And mind you, this is a daily chart. We are looking at a daily chart. So these moves are going to last for a week or 2. So you and going to cover huge price, distances. So let us put some numbers here. Okay, so this area is, let's say 21,900 is where I'm asking you to buy, and let's say 21,700 is where we put our stop loss. So see where we go from 900. This is, let me use this Ninja. Okay. So this is 21,900. Let me mark 21,700 for you. Oh, what happened? Sorry. This is 21,700, right? And now let us see what we could use as potential profit targets. So when it bounced from here for the first time, you use this high as your, that is the closest reference. That is your target, and that level is 22,350. So we'll look at numbers in a minute. And in the second instance, you could use this as your closest reference. And now in the third instance, we already have covered a lot of distance. You can use either this gap or you can use this high as your reference for your target. So in the first trade, we buy at 21,900 and we exit at 22,350. Okay, so that is 450 points and our risk is 200 points. In the second instance, same thing, we buy at 900 and we exit at 600. That is a 22,600. So that is a 700 point move with a risk of 200 points. And now you have bought at same 21,900 and you can even buy a little lower at this HVN. And then we are still going higher, right? Now, either you wait for the high, and is there another reference that you can use to target? Okay, yes, there is. And what is? It is this consolidation that is happening at the top. So if I again draw another consolidation here, okay, now what is happening? See, it's very interesting. You can now look at this particular HVN, which is matching with 21,600, and you can exit your position at this HVN. So it again gives you 700 points for a 200 point risk. So within, from say March or late February to the current day, you would have made 1,850 points on Nifty. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad at all. Make sense? So that is the usefulness of this particular indicator. Let me remove all these lines, otherwise I will keep wondering what they are for when I come back to this chart later on. And this is the red cross that you just click to get rid of all these indicators that you have plotted, right? So we have plotted multiple of them and we get rid of that. All right. Now this is happening on a daily chart. Can you use it on a short-term chart? Absolutely you can. So you can use it on this chart as well. All right. So let me remove this VSA indicator for a minute, because then we will have a clean chart to look at. Ignore the delta indicator at the bottom for a moment. Don't get distracted by that. We want to study this. Okay. So again, here what I can do is I can go to indicators and I go to this and I double click on this. See, we get it here, and that's it. That's all we need to do. Now here, let us go through some of the options. TPO type is useful for plotting a market profile. You know, if you want to plot market profile also in this dynamic profile, then you can use that. I don't like that because I like to plot market profile only on the 30-minute chart. So I deselect this show TPO option and I'm not bothered about the TPO sizes as well. But it gives you all the features like ATR based TPO size, which I prefer. It gives you option to plot that also. Show volume profile, I want that, right? Show current session, I think it is for when you're plotting market profile. Show market profile lines for split, I don't want that. Half back line, I don't want that. All these things you can enable and get a feel of that. Okay. uh, Session period. Now, yeah, this you have to keep it as it is. Don't change any of these settings. All right. And show left volume area, bottom table. Let us keep all these on and see what happens. Okay. Wait a minute, what happened? It was not applied, it is applying now. See, as soon as you apply that indicator, what you get is these three buttons. And let us now plot a profile for this particular consolidation and see how it looks. Okay. Now, straight away you can see that the profile is not that clearly visible. It's not wide enough. So what you can do is you can go to indicators and then you can change the volume histogram width. So let us say I make it 80. What difference will it make? Click apply and see. Has it increased a little bit? No, there is some setting I am missing here. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry guys, I am changing settings for Bell VSA Pro and then wondering why it is not showing me, the changes. So I have to go to dynamic profile. See, I sometimes make these mistakes. So when I change the histogram width on dynamic profile, let us see if it plots now. Yeah, now the width has increased, right? So yeah, silly mistakes is my forte, guys. My parents have been scolding me from a young age for all that. But that is how you learn. Okay. So I have plotted this consolidation. Now what can you get? You can also get this bottom table, right? And it gives you a lot of valuable information. It gives you date and time. It gives you the TPO size, TPO count, rotation factor, range of that profile, like high and low, average range. So this 178 is the range right now. IB range is the first hours range. That also it gives you volume. It gives you point of control, value area high, value area low, session high. All the important references you can find from this table. Now, it is useful if you are not a visual person like me. So for me, I am usually not aware of the highs and lows for the day. Uh, oh, my screen is not visible. Sorry guys, just give me a second. It is visible. Okay, fine. So this is the range I'm looking at, and I'm not a numbers person, so I'm rarely looking at this right axis. I'm a visual person, so I look at these extremes and I'm just trading based on that on the chart, right? So I do not prefer to have all these numbers on my chart. So if you look at my chart or my setting, what I would do is I would go to these indicators, and it's very easy to disable also. Like if you don't want anything on your chart, uh, all all you have to do is go to this Bell dynamic profile indicator, go down, and just remove everything. Show bottom table. If you remove this and click OK, now the bottom table won't be plotted and you won't see anything on the charts apart from your volume profile. See, now I don't have that bottom table because I don't like it, right? And the same logic. Now, I'm not going to cover all the volume profile trading principles here because that is not what this session is for. But I just wanted to show you how you can plot this particular indicator and it will give you, references. So let's again plot this one. This is a bigger consolidation, right? So let me again see if I can increase this profile width somehow. Okay, fine. So what I have now is this big consolidation and then an attempted breakout above that, which actually fails. And what is going to be our area that we are going to track for support? This is going to be our last point of demand. This area here, highlighted in pink, this is the HVNs from this profile. And as soon as we break below that, then what we know that the trend has changed, and then you can start selling all the pullbacks, all right? You can short here, you can short here, and you got some nice moves out of it. So again, there are so many ways you can use this particular indicator to your benefit, right? So it's altogether up to you to just play with this if you have access to it, or you can get it from Built TPO. Just play with this indicator and see the amount of possibilities there are. And this again, like this is a 3-minute VSA chart, and we looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day range. This can be done on a very short time frame also. So let me see if I can find a good intraday example for you. Maybe you can use this example. So what I'm doing is, as soon as the market opens, it goes sideways. Sometimes opening and closing bars will have some weird volume, so you can ignore that. And this is the profile I'm getting. And now you can see when the market tried to go higher, this is actually a pullback in a bigger trend, but we tried to go higher, we fail, we come back down, we go below this HVN of this morning small area of consolidation. Once we go below that and then we pull back and we get resisted here, this is where you can short, right? And then it starts going lower, and you get a nice late spike which you can utilize. Now you might ask, like, but in how exactly do I enter? Because if I had shorted here earlier, we went higher, but here we did not. And why not short here? Well, again, like if I enable the VSA indicator, there are ways that you can find good entries even in this scenario. So let it plot. Yeah, this is the one that we were tracking. Let the VSA indicators plot. Yeah. See, so what we can do is we can even look for these signals, right? So this is the consolidation. You have, what are these? These are no demand signals, and you can short below those bars once we close below that. So, and even sometimes what happens, these signals are just some mathematical calculations. But if you understand the VSA logic, then you can even understand that this up bar and this up bar, these two bars are bars in a existing down move after getting rejected from a resistance, and you can use the low of these bars to establish your positions, even this one. So these can be a few scalps that you can take, or it can be like you try to enter here and exit right at the close, and it can be a bigger trade also, depending on what is your trading style. Make sense? So you can use these tools to your advantage. You can combine it with VSA, it works beautifully. So as you can see on this both daily chart as well as this 3-minute chart, I have the VSA indicator plotted, and I do use it quite regularly. All right. So this is the bell dynamic indicator I wanted to quickly cover for you today. So thank you for attending this one.